Welcome to the broadcast and live stream of Moonshot Radio. Moonshot Radio is generously sponsored by the PNC Grow Up Great program. And here's your host, Dr. Nivea Torres.
Greetings and welcome to Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn. I'm your host, Nivea Torres, Executive Director of the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, also known as KRC. Our vision is that all children in Indian River County will be ready for kindergarten. We proudly partner with the Moonshot Moment, who is transforming the next generation in Indian River County by having 90% of all students reading on grade level by the third grade. Joining me today is a regular guest, Miss Nikki Boswell. Nikki is an early literacy specialist for the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative. Welcome, Nikki.
I'm back.
You are back, and we are celebrating back to school this week here in Indian River County, and we're so pleased that you were able to join us, Nikki. And I should say, for those who might be tuning in for the first time on Moonshot Radio, that you and your counterpart, Maria Pantoja, have been very busy for the last couple months, spreading cheer and distributing learning kits throughout Indian River County. And that has also included a back-to-school backpack, correct?
Yes, correct. We have been busy giving materials out to our parents and into our community to make it easier for the transitioning back to school.
Well, Nikki, and we wanted to have you back on the show because we always get so much good feedback when you're on the show. You are an experienced early childhood educator, and you have a lot of knowledge to share with families. You certainly do that during home visits and parent training sessions. But this is a unique time, and there are a lot of parents who are supporting their little ones from home. Today, we want to talk about story time. What is story time, and what is the importance of story time? So share with us, Nikki, as an early childhood specialist, your thoughts on story time.
Well, story time is not always sitting down and reading a story. It really helps with the vocabulary. And I like to use the word critical thinking, because before you even go into the story, knowing what the story is about, that's your way to utilize the critical thinking. As far as just asking your child, what do you think is going to happen? Give me some details. Or have you been to a place that looks like this? Or just getting them to utilize the vocabulary. There's no right and there's no wrong way to utilize vocabulary. And it's what makes it so awesome is that we as parents, if your child go way off and you like, just follow your child. Because once a child begins to talk and utilize their vocabulary, it's really showing their interest of, life or what they are into.
Nikki, and I'm so glad you mentioned that there's no right or wrong way, because I think parents really get anxious about story time, and they might have an image in their head that story time needs to be a certain way, that it needs to happen during a certain time of the day, and also in a special place within the home. So let's just talk first about the logistics of story time. Does story time need to happen at a specific time? Do parents need specific training for story time? How do they approach this?
Just utilize the way of your routine at home. There's no specific way or place that you need to do story time. I just want to use myself. I did a lot of story times in my car, because I lived in St. Lucie County, but my kids went to school in Indian River County. So in that time from picking them up, we will create stories. And we'll go a little bit into that later on. But the creating a story is amazing. Again, it could be in the bath. It could be during the dinner table. Create a story just about conversation at the dinner table. You always, as individual, have to look at what goes on in your home And when you do that, you will not go wrong, because there's no wrong way or right way when it's your routine of what's going on in your home. So parents sometimes feel like, oh, I gotta have a set time of just sitting down to do story. No, you don't, because you can go back and revisit a story that has been read, or create a story about a movie you've seen.
So you need to make it work for you, for your family, and for your routine, because like you said, you could be someone who's commuting back and forth with your children, and you want to use the time that you're in the car to have them create a story with you. You might not have a designated time for that. And we've talked here on the show about the importance of language development. So why is story time so important for language development? You talked a little bit about vocabulary. Why is this so important, especially now that we're going back to school and we want to focus on that?
A lot of times when you're dealing with younger kids, myself, kids don't really know the meaning of a lot of words, but if they hear it and they hear the meaning, a lot of times they can put the word with the picture. So when they do begin to start picture reading first, because I know a lot of parents like, oh, I want my child to read, but allow them to use their vocabulary to just picture read, and just let them have a free time of just picture reading itself. Because when they begin to picture read, that's letting you know that they know the meaning of the objects that's in the book. So once they begin to put those words with the objects, it's going to be so much easier for your child to really start the reading and hearing the words over and over in different ways.
So mom, dad, any family members who are listening to us, story time can happen any place, anytime. You really need to capitalize on your schedule and the time that you have with your children to work on language development. Nikki, you also pointed out something that I think is very important, because a lot of parents think that story time is attached to a book. And today we will be talking about a book. But you mentioned that critical thinking, that creative thinking. You can create a story without a book, without looking at a book, correct?
Yes, you can create a story just by family members itself. Again, most kids going to go back into what they have experienced or what they want to experience. So again, that and let you know your child interest. It's very common, but it's very looked over. A lot of parents look over as a child sometimes sit and just talk, and they create that as a story. Okay, oh, I heard you talking about bears. Oh, did you see a bear? Oh, what else about the bear? Let's create a story. And then you can just draw a picture and run with a story just about a bear.
I love that. And I think, for those of us who remember stories around the campfire or together around a dinner table, this is, it reminds us of that, a reminder that stories can take place at any time, anywhere. But today we are also going to talk about a story that is attached to a particular book. And I believe this is a book that was included in the back to school backpack, Miss Nikki. So tell us a little bit about this book. And for those parents who are tuning in, if you see this book, if you're interested, if you did not receive the back to school backpack, you can reach us on our Facebook page, krc.org. Send us a message and we'll make sure that Miss Nikki or Miss Maria connect with you.
I would love to go over this book. It's called Lola's Go to School. We're not going to open up this book today. We're just going to go on based on the picture, the cover page. And what I did was I wrote down one vocabulary word. And we'll go into that more as we go on. But I only just one word, and our word for the day is routine. Because going back to school, the kids have to have a routine to be able to cover everything that is expected of them. And I just wrote it on a little sticky and I put it on me. And it's going to be our word of the day. We're not even going to open it, because sometimes parents feel like, I can't stand there and hold the book and turn the pages. No, today you're not. You can give this book to your child and they can just go and use their imaginary critical thinking just by the cover page.
I love that. And I love that you just talked about one word, one simple word, in this case, routine, because we are going back to school and we want to establish routines. And also that you can learn so much from the book and from that creative thinking exercise that you're going to walk us through in a minute. So, Nikki, we're going to take a break to hear from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll go through that vocabulary word, routine, and you'll walk us through that creative thinking exercise. So we'll be right back.
10, 9, 8.
Why did the countdown stop? Because it's the countdown to Buzz TV channel 1098, Comcast Xfinity, and it's here. Local content for Sebastian, Vero, and Fort Pierce. Tune in for local info, happenings, and fun, including all the great Planet Vero TV shows from 8 to 10 a.m. and p.m. Dial in channel 1098 for Buzz TV on your Comcast Xfinity box and discover what the buzz is all about.
At the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, our vision is for every parent, regardless of income or zip code, to have the knowledge and tools they need to raise healthy children that are prepared for kindergarten. Our mission is to support our partners in developing a high-quality early childhood system that is family-centered. Our outreach and parent engagement specialists connect with families and build trusted relationships. KRC has chosen Fellsmere and Gifford as our two focus areas in Indian River County. Our Fellsmere office is located downtown in the city annex, and our new Gifford office is located within Victory Park Apartments. Our administrative offices are now located adjacent to Healthy Start and Treasure Coast Community Health in Vero Beach. The Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, developing a high-quality early childhood system for all children in Indian River County.
Everyday activities are great for finding moments for talking and teaching new words. Babies' brains grow 80% in the first 18 months of life. As parents and your baby's first teacher, you can help build their brain with language and literacy skills. Involve the whole family. Ask questions. The more words babies hear, the larger their vocabulary can grow. Support early childhood education by talking, reading, singing, and family engagement. This message has been brought to you by PNC Grow Up Great and the Florida Grade Level Reading Campaign.
You've invested in beautiful natural stone floors like travertine or polished marble, or maybe your home has Mexican tile or terrazzo. It's important to maintain the beauty with maintenance performed by experts like Ace Marble Restoration. Residential and commercial service, Ace Marble's highly trained staff has been bringing out the natural beauty in homes throughout the Treasure Coast for nearly 2 decades. Stone countertops and ceramic tile and grout restoration. Call Ace Marble at 772-589-3552 or visit acemarble.com.
Stop. Don't make a $1,500 or $10,000 mistake. Remember the name, Atlantic Hardscapes. Atlantic Hardscapes has the best prices for all your hardscape needs. From pottery founds, synthetic turf, pavers, rock, topsoil fill, boulders, flagstone, outdoor kitchens, and much more. Delivery and installation is available. Their beautiful outdoor showroom is next to Pineapple Joe's in Fort Pierce. Remember their website, AtlanticHardscapesSupply.com.
Hi, Leah Waldo's, and although you're used to me talking about Waldo's, this time it's about the Driftwood Resort. Many have had to cancel vacation plans this summer, but the Driftwood Resort is coming to the rescue. From now through October 31st, the Driftwood is offering a studio unit deal. Stay 2 nights and get your 3rd night free. When booking, mention the Driftwood loves the locals. As always, upon availability. Driftwood Resort in Waldo's, where we have your staycation covered. 772-231-0550.
We're back to Moonshot Radio. We're back to Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn. I'm your host, Nivea Torres, Executive Director of KARC, and joining me today is Miss Nikki Boswell. Nikki is an early literacy specialist for KRC. Welcome back, Nikki. And today we're talking about story time. And right before the break, you were going to walk us through a creative thinking exercise. So take it away, Nikki.
Okay. Nivea, do you have your book?
I have my book right here. Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about routine. Now, looking at Lola, can you tell me a routine you think she has to follow? A routine means something that you do certain way every day.
Something that she does every day. I think Lola has to brush her teeth every day.
Does she brush her teeth before she go to school or when she come back from school?
I think she might brush her teeth before she goes to school.
Do you brush your teeth before you go to school?
I do. I actually brush my teeth several times during the day.
Oh, what do you need to brush your teeth?
You need a toothbrush and you need toothpaste.
Nothing else.
You need water.
Water. Where do you get the water from?
You get the water from the sink.
Can I get it from the toilet?
If you get it from the toilet, that might be a problem. I think you'd probably want to get it from the sink.
You're absolutely right. You want the water where it's clean as at. Now, looking at your book, what do you think we can use water for?
Oh, what a great question. Maybe for the paints? Maybe it's water paint.
Why would I need it? Why would I need it for the paint?
To mix colors or to clean the brushes, maybe?
You are so smart. Kiss your brain to clean it up. So just going over that, we have not even went into the story itself. We talked about routine, and routine that relates to Lola and Nivea is that they brush their teeth in the morning. So that's something you do on a regular basis. That's part of the routine before going to school. So parents, again, I know we're so focused on opening the book, but first when you introduce the story, let's keep the books closed because we want to see what they know. So when we do open it up and we get to the painting and the water, we can bring it back to real life because Nivea said you need water to brush your teeth. So that's really something to be focused on and attentive to if what your child say. So when you begin to read the story, let's bring it back to real life.
Let's make sure that we connect what's happening in the story to the child's experience, because there might be similarities between Lola's day and the child's day, or not, right?
Right. But again, if they have not had that connection, you can always take and say, well, would you like to try that? Or what do you think if you done that? Or how would you feel if you were allowed to do that? So again, it's not so much that even if they not have experienced it, let's talk about their feelings to see how they feel if they do experience. Because some kids may not want to paint. They may think painting is too messy for them. Because I had one of my own. She didn't like to touch stuff that was messy. She didn't like to get messy. So I knew that. So let's just flip it in a way that, hey, well, let's just talk about the mess. Or how can we avoid mess? Again, that's utilizing that vocabulary and that critical thinking still based on the story.
And I like how you connected that to the word routine, because you asked me specific questions about Lola's daily routine and what do I think her daily routine looks like. So I'm doing the creative thinking, but I'm also connecting to that vocabulary word. So the child is hopefully developing a better understanding of what routine means.
Yes, and that's again why I have it on me, because I want to remember the routine, the word of the day, routine, to help me to come out through that day. Oh, Lola, you got your book bag and you put it in your room. That's part of your routine coming from school. So I want to utilize that word and giving that child examples so that child really can get it, because a child has to hear things or do things over and over and over. So if we forget, the child is not going to get that repetition as many times that they need if we forgot. So that's just to help me. And you may put it on your refrigerator or you may put it on your mirror. But again, we want to utilize vocabulary words over and over and over so that child actually gets the understanding or the meaning of that word.
Well, and I like that you say, you keep stressing that vocabulary word. You can put it on the refrigerator, you can put it anywhere in the home and stress that. But, the takeaway from me is that there are a lot of words and there's a lot of creative thinking that I can do with just the book cover without actually opening the book. And certainly we encourage parents to engage in opening the book and exploring it as well. But I think parents also have this notion that you have to start the book from beginning to end, and you can discover at any stage, because you also are not just reading the book, Nikki, and saying it's done. You can go back and explore pieces and pages from the book in no particular order.
Exactly. Or just creating. I just want to do a quick another example of this. We're going to do a small creating a story, me and Nivea. So I'm going to start, and Nivea's just going to add on. Like, once upon a time, there was a little girl.
And she was very excited about going to school. And she had a red She had a red backpack.
You're fine. She had a red backpack, but when she got up that morning, her mom told her, "We're not going to school. We're going to do school at home."
And she was sad for a moment, but then she realized that school could also be fun from home.
And having school at home, she's also able to teach her dog, Lucy.
And Lucy was very excited about having the little girl learn from home. And we're going to have to stop there, Nikki, because we're running out of time. But I love that example. I think parents get an idea of how between two people or even more, you can create your own story. It doesn't have to be a story from the book, or it could be about a little girl, just like Lola. But this has been fabulous. Just highlighting story time from a different perspective. We want to thank you, Miss Nikki. We want to encourage folks to visit the KRC Facebook page. If you have any questions about any of these activities, please give us feedback. Contact Miss Nikki Boswell or her counterpart, Maria Pantoja. And until next time, this has been Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn. Bye, Miss Nikki.